Today we're making a croquembouche, the it girl for the holiday season.
I mean, at least in the 80s and the 90s, right? Cue shoulder pads. You can make them with just about anything you like. So today we're gonna use old-fashioned donuts that are scented with warm spices. Come on, let's go. Before we get to making our beautiful old-fashioned batter, we're going to brown some butter. We're gonna add some butter to our pot, turn on the heat, we're gonna let the magic happen. Browning butter is one of those things that is going to add depth of flavor, and it's going to bring umami notes all throughout your pastries. So now we've reached brown butter. We're gonna reserve this, and then we're going to measure it out once it cools. So this is the color that we're looking for. You can see that it is golden brown on the bottom. It smells like the holidays. So now we're gonna make our old-fashioned-ish donuts. We're gonna grab our dries. In our dry mix, we have flour, baking powder, we have kosher salt, and a little bit of warming spices. We're also gonna grab our sugar, and we're gonna give this a quick mix. Now we're going to grab our Greek yogurt. Typically for an old-fashioned donut, you would use buttermilk, but today I'm gonna be using Greek yogurt because it's gonna add a little less moisture and it's gonna give us strong gluten strands. Our brown butter, and our eggs. Thanks, TikTok. Okay, let's add them in. Let's give this a mix. You're gonna mix this on low until slightly incorporated. You want the dough to be slightly damp, like this. So now we're gonna let this stand while we get our oil hot. Be right back. Misu and I have an important announcement. What's the scoop, Misu? Hot oil is dangerous. So when frying these donuts, please use all the caution that you possibly can. Be careful out there and be safe. So I'm gonna be using a 1-ounce scoop to fry my old-fashioned donuts. Feel free to use whatever measurements you want at home. Be careful and always drop anything that you drop in hot oil away from you. It's super important that we have our thermometer attached to our frying pot because when the temperature goes down, it makes the donuts absorb a lot of oil. You want it to be crispy, light, fluffy, and airy. Keep frying. Fry at least 5 to 6 donuts at a time. If you cram them in together, not only will they stick together, but your oil will drop in temperature and it's just not gonna be fun. So typically once you know that your donut is frying and it's ready, it starts to float on the top, but also a visual cue is that it's golden brown and delicious. You just wanna make sure that we give it a couple of minutes. It should look something like this. While we're waiting for these donuts to fry, don't fret if it gets a little hot in here. You just use your shoulder pads to blot out some of that moisture. Your donut also will start to break a little bit when it's ready. Old-fashioned donuts have that iconic crinkling, and that's what we're looking for to know that it's done. Let's strain these guys out on a wired rack and let them completely cool before we make our donut embouche. For a whole tower of donut embouche, we need a lot more donuts. Okay guys, so now we're gonna make our glue, which is our caramel. Okay, so we're gonna start with our sugar. Then we're gonna do some water. And I like to kind of like make sure that the sugar and the water all come together. This is a technique that it's called wet sand. You want it to look as if you were picking up wet sand in the ocean. Well, the beach. Alrighty, now we have reached our light amber color and we have a chilled container that's gonna stop the cook on your caramel. Okay, so now I'm gonna try to get some of the most round ones for the bottom. We're gonna dip into our caramel and then we're gonna place it on the edge. So be very, very careful when dunking your donuts into your caramel because you can burn your fingertips if you're not careful of where you're placing your hands. I'd like to grab the donut kind of like this. Now what we're gonna do, now that we've made our layer, we're going to go and fill any of the alternating gaps, anywhere there's a gap. So now we're gonna put the last piece on our tower. Here we go. And there you have it. Now we're gonna decorate it. We have some leftover caramel here. The key is to make sure that you keep moving. Don't let it just stream in one particular spot. Just keep going fast, 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 fast. And if you don't have a marble countertop, you can do this on a cutting board, anywhere that's just a cool surface. So we're gonna try to pick up some of our caramel. Gonna try to, gently go around. Be very delicate. Be very gentle. Okay, let's keep making some more. So we're gonna crunch it up a little bit, just to give it some motion. I mean, how much more 80s can you get? Crazy. And it's okay if it falls a little bit. She's dramatic. Okay, Misu, what do you think? Should we add more flair? I agree. Okay, I'm gonna take this totally over the top and I'm gonna add some gold leaf to this. So, I'm gonna grab a little brush and my gold leaf. Here she is in all of her glory. She's dramatic, she is amazing for parties, and it's gonna be a showstopper.
Do you think I was gonna let this episode end without me taking a bite? Tastes like farmer's market and an orchard that you pick apples in had a baby.
Crunchy, sweet, just feels like vibes. Vibe out. If you like this recipe, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and share.